Wouldn't be the first time. On this one, it would be. I think the Super Bowl threw everyone off. It's not a holiday, guys. Okay? No.
Ben's here.
Ben.
I did not mean to be late.
No worries. No worries.
It's all good. You had Super Bowl preparations, didn't you?
No, I had classwork.
Oh, that's a lot less fun.
And I'm only half done with it.
But he's half done with it.
Woo! You're halfway there. Is it due tomorrow?
Due tonight by midnight.
Oh.
Which is why, I have a hard cutoff at 9, because I've got 2 more 300-word posts I have to make, so...
All right,
Which is why your glass is empty, huh?
No, Lord, if I start that, I won't get any of it done.
I assumed you already started, because it was just that stressful.
It's just been that kind of week.
That stinks.
So where's your wine?
Half gone. Whoa, now, okay, we're not into torture.
If you drown in scotch, does that really torture?
No, it's torture showing him that he doesn't get any because the glass is empty.
Oh, no, there's still a little bit in the bottom.
Ah.
Wait, no, there's not. There was a little bit in the bottom at one point.
All right, so brief recap of last session. You guys decided to leave the Scarlet Moon Hall and to return in a 10-day as one of the individuals requested of you. And said you, on your way back to Red Larch, decided to stop by this Feathergale spire, kind of in the middle of this large canyon. And upon ringing a bell, a small slot, and eventually the drawbridge was lowered by this woman, who welcomed a lot of you guys inside. And there were numerous, after a bit of a brief reading from her, you were welcomed inside. Lothar and Illyria spotted a large, what looked like one of the ceiling beams, kind of transposed in a fashion to kind of like a battering ram, but to knock people outside of the front doorway. Excuse me, if they were trying to force their ways in. Within the front hall, there were a couple blue-tunicked individuals who didn't take too much note of your entry as you were kind of ushered inside towards the main cult home spiral staircase. And after going up a floor, the doors opened into a large kind of dining hall. The walls are lined with the heads of trophies of all variety of animals. There's a manticore, a wyvern, minotaur, kind of basically picture like a hunting cabin, but for mythological beasts. And they're all over these walls, displayed prominently. There are 2 brightly lit hearths on either side of the table, and upon the table is, I believe you were told that a feast is being prepared for the 10-year anniversary of the Feathergale Society.
Yep.
With pickled sausages, dried parnips, vegetable stews, carrots, crabs, pheasant, breads, meads, bitters, beers, wines, ciders, a little bit of everything. It's just all set to go. And opposite the party sit two more heavily armored individuals with kind of feathered design patterns in their armor. There are not rainbow bagels, unfortunately. More of a draconian delicacy, closer to the areas of Draconia.
I was just saying, you pointed them out.
I know. And the woman who opened the doors, Sabra Velobranta, informed you that the head of the Feathergale Society, Thurl, should be back shortly to see to the lot of you. But in the meantime, feel free to help yourselves to what's there on the table before you. And she closed the doors behind her, and you could hear the kind of stepping of heavy plate on stairs kind of fading behind the doors.
That's an excellent summary. So just, I missed here, and we're now about to miss another one. So are Lucas and or Ruby showing up tonight?
Lucas was just here. I'm guessing Rom Jr. might have woken up a second or two ago, which is why he's gone. And Ruby, we haven't heard anything from her, but I just sent her a message on Skype because it shows her as being online. So if I hear back from her, I'll let you know.
Okay. And did we make any sort of decision about speech being all in character unless,
I was thinking about that, and I was also kind of thinking the more kind of stuff that we talk really out of character, it's really more for kind of rules-based stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Or like whenever you're trying to clarify something about a description that I didn't quite
right. It's like, no,
paint
yeah,
out for me or
kind
something
of like
that.
this.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what was I gonna say? There were things. Oh, right. While nothing else is going on, I would like to make either a perception or an investigation roll.
All right. What are you trying to do?
First,
Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say I'll describe what I'm trying to do, and
Okay.
you can tell me what I need to roll.
Okay.
I want to perceive of all the things on the table which look the tastiest. And secondarily, while I'm doing that, and I want to make sure that I look mostly focused on the food, I want to look around the room and at our other guests here at the table and see if there are any strange symbols like we've been running into.
All right. So, yeah, I'd say go ahead and give me an insight to know which foods would be the tastiest. And just a perception check to kind of look about the room.
Okay.
So the food
character
insight
sheet pulled up. Character sheet, come on. Okay. Ooh, I have a +5 to insight.
Nice. All right.
Sweet.
So it definitely looks to you like the dried parsnips and the vegetable stew, along with the prepared pheasant, look to have been among the last items brought up here most recently. And so they are still steaming, fresh from the ovens, and you can just see the juices just flowing from them.
Excellent. So I know that I'm going for pheasant, and I don't know about parsnips, but they look that delicious. I will try them. Because I've never had a parsnip. So why not? And then it was an investigation for
Just a perception check.
perception for the other.
All right. So as soon as you get a kind of better look around at all the foods in front of you, your nose starts picking up smells of all sorts that just smell all sorts of delightful to you that you are completely unfamiliar with, but they smell incredibly intoxicating. So they're kind of distracting your focus a little bit.
And
But
we know
the
how
knights,
sneaky I am, so trying to be surreptitious, not the best.
but both knights kind of on the side of the table opposite the party themselves each have just a mound of food piled up in their own plates, and they're just kind of chowing down on it as well.
But they're already eating?
They are already eating.
Oh, then hell yeah. I'm grabbing a... Is there a plate in front of me?
Absolutely. There's a plate at every seating.
Then I'm going to get the plate, and I don't know exactly how you do this here, but do I just get up and get the foods I want, or do I need to pass the plate down?
Could be totally up to you. You can ask for somebody to pass.
I was asking that in character.
Okay.
This is something new, okay, guys? We're trying.
Everything is in the character.
It's a new game mechanic.
Unless it's better.
So the knight nearest you kind of turns his head towards Grubender, and he says, "Well, if there's anything I can reach for you that's within my own arm's reach, just let me know. I'd be happy to pass it over."
Why, thank you. That pheasant looks delicious.
And you can see a bit of a little smirk shoot across his own face. And he says, "I have yet to try this one yet, but so far everything has been exceptional." And he scoops up the pheasant kind of towards the middle of the table and passes it over in Grimbender's direction.
Why, thank you. And, Mushi, there seem to be in front of you some small, delicious smelling things. I don't know what you call them exactly, but they're, yes, that plate just there in front of you. That's the one. If you could pass it.
And I'm reaching around, pointing around to the different plates in front of me until you say, yes, that one. And I reach up and grab it and pass it down to Cassie as Cassie grabs it and hands it to you.
And I sniff it and oh, yes, it's most delicious smelling. I hope it tastes as good as it smells. And I'm not going to be... sorry. And I just take and pull like a pheasant leg off and take a knife and kind of carve part of the breast off as well, and then pass the pheasant back towards the middle of the table.
All right, so after a few moments of the party kind of looking out about this feast in front of them, and Grimbender's starting to kind of dive into the foods that are available, Illyria and Lothar pick up what sounds very similar to heavy footsteps that they heard along the spiral staircase, but in greater number and growing louder.
This is most delicious. You should really try the pheasant.
I'm gonna lean over to Mushi and tap her leg. Yeah.
Whoa.
Hey. I'll say, can you pass the large bowl full of the many vegetables? It sounds quite delicious.
And I reach around and look at him and grab this one. And I assume when I turn my head, I can kind of hear the footsteps. Maybe because I'm right behind or in front of the staircase.
You cannot.
What? Okay. Well, I'm going to just kind of look
perception's
at
lower than theirs is.
All right. So
Well, I am going to look around and look at the vegetables and be like, which one? I have several dishes in front of me.
the big bowl.
And I reach and grab the bowl and move it over.
Oh, the dog didn't want us to pass the vegetables. So I'm gonna pick up the bowl and put it up to my nose.
I swear I heard a dog.
Winged hounds. So I'm gonna pick up the bowl, put it up to my nose, and I'm gonna whisper to Mushi, "There's a lot of footsteps coming up the staircase." And then I'll say, that's really delicious, and I'll put some on my plate.
I'm going to look at the knight closest to me. So, I don't believe we've been introduced. I'm Grabender, Grabender Dvoth. Nice to meet you. And I was most curious. You have quite the collection of, well, creatures and beasts here in the hall. Is it standard to hunt? We met you as we faced one of these similar creatures. Is it your mission to hunt these creatures down?
And he takes a moment to swallow the mouthful of food he's got, and he goes from the bone of whatever he's chewing on. He kind of wipes off his hand on his leg, and he puts his hand over the table, reaching out towards Grabender, and he says, "It's a pleasure, I suppose. The name's Jandar. Yes, you could say it's a bit of a sport for the lot of us. As we fly about on our mounted steeds and more or less lay claim to that which we can. The greater the trophy, the greater the trophy, I suppose. The more powerful the beast, the much more appealing it is to have on the wall, if you know what I mean."
Yes. We have also with the mighty creatures. We have no keep to mount our trophies, but it is exhilarating, the hunt.
Mushi, roll me a perception check if you want to try that. And he says, "You say you saw some of us out there. Which beast did you see us take down?" Nope.
We had encountered a manticore, I believe is what you would call them.
And he kind of points over behind the other knight, and he says, "One similar to this one, then, yes?"
What is he pointing at?
A
It's
manticore.
a large lion head, but rather than kind of a lion's mane, it appears that the hair itself seems to be made of a variety of spines.
Yes, very much like that one. It was just, 3-4 days ago now.
Yes, we've been after that one and its mate for some time now.
We were following a giant goat when we found it.
A goat, you say? Well,
It's the largest goat I have ever seen.
Can't say we've got any goats upon our walls. But
Well, no, we were
own,
not hunting the goat. The goat was with an old man who herded, goats. But this one was massive. Easily 5 times the size of most of the other goats.
5 times the size, you say? We may have to keep our eyes out for this goat.
He seemed, to be with the old man. Almost like I don't really know what we would call it. In Draconia, we have herding beasts that serve us, and those who keep, largely we keep sheep, not goats.
As Grabender is reminiscing upon his times in Draconia, the 2 double doors fly open by the staircase, and the two knights enter, one from each doorway, and you can hear more footsteps behind them. Now even Mushi can hear these footsteps, as the 2 knights immediately kind of jerk their heads towards the doors and stand up at attention. And knights continue to kind of flow into the room, walking around the table.
Is there a like a steak knife on the table?
Absolutely.
I would like to handkerchief that one
All right.
and have it ready.
All right. So the knights proceed to walk around the table, and you can see the woman stepping into the room once again. And not necessarily looking at any one in particular, she's just kind of announcing to the room, of the illustrious Waterdavian Mounted Griffin Cavalry, the Lord Commander of the Feathergale Society, Thurl Maroska. And a older male steps through the doorframe, clad in similar apparel to that of the knights around him, except he's got a large metallic griffin as one of his pauldrons. And unbelievable. Looks strikingly
real
like
quick, you said the 2 guards that were sitting stood up.
Yes, they're standing like at attention.
I would like
when
to
they stand up, I'm going to
as
stand
well.
up too.
Yeah, that's kind of polite. I still
All
want
right.
my knife
And
hidden
Cassie
under
will.
my napkin, though, just in case. Because I'm coming in there with a freaking guard like that.
And I'm just going to like I was in the middle of chewing on a pheasant bone. So stand up, bone still in mouth.
Oh, I thought you were going to salute with a turkey leg.
And he steps into the room and he says, please, please, friends, there's no need for this, though I do appreciate it. Please sit, enjoy this feast. It is a time for celebration after all.
It is most delicious. We thank you very much. We have not eaten like this in, well, weeks, I would imagine.
Mm.
And I'm going to wait until I see the other guards sit down before I sit down.
Okay.
I flop back down and have some parsnips.
Okay. So the other guards proceed to kind of walk around the table, around the outskirts, making their way to one of the open chairs. And Thurl makes his way around to the chair in the middle and sits down opposite Mushi.
Oh.
Oh, that's going to be great.
And the last knight kind of wanders around the table, wanders around the kind of stone wall in the middle of this pillar, and you can hear a wooden door opening and shutting. And as Thurl sits, the knights all around the table sit with him. And he says, please, enjoy. Tell me, what brings you to the Feathergale Society?
Well, we came to thank you. We had assistance from some of your members. At least we believe they were members of your society. But as we encountered a manticore a few days ago, we had their assistance in slaying the beast. And
You don't say. So you were the help they had in bringing this one down. He points right back to the same manticore head.
yes, that is.
We would like to say you were the help we had. More so.
Well, nevertheless, you have our appreciation. And he kind of raises the glass in front of him and he says, a toast to friends and their mutual benefits, I should say.
We can all drink to that.
We all enjoy friends with benefits.
Oh.
Parody drink.
And they all drink. And a few cheers go out between some of the armored individuals.
So, we are reasonably new in this area. I am most curious about, this is your 10th year anniversary, was it?
Indeed. The Feathergale Society has been within the Spire for nearly 10 years now. Roughly 11 years ago, I struck out from Waterdeep, retiring from the Order of the Griffin Cavalry. Have you heard of it?
I have heard of the Griffin Cavalry of Waterdeep. I have never met any of their members, but they are well known.
Yes, I was forced to retire due to my age. They believed I was no longer fit to ride upon one of these marvelous beasts. So I struck out on my own, turning down the noble house they offered me, and instead chose to strike up the society you see here. We are by no means nearly as threatening as the cavalry of Waterdeep once was. Though I will say, if you've ever soared through the sky with nothing between you but a powerful beast that controls the lightest of your touches, there's nothing like it in all the worlds.
It must be quite an experience. I have never flown myself, but it is always so fascinating to look up and watch the creatures that do make their way in the sky and imagine what it would be like.
It's remarkable. I do recommend it.
But as I say, I'm most curious to know of your order and the history of this area. We are, as you may have surmised, a band of adventurers, and we have come here because of dire warnings of evil rising in this land.
Yes, Savra was telling me that this one, and he points over to Mushi, was speaking of some sort of prophets or the like.
Yes.
And I nod in agreement. Miyoshi, I'm nodding, yes.
Well, please, we are at your disposal. If there's anything we can do to help you, you needn't but ask.
Well, I believe now what we seek is simply information. Our first encounters were with the people of Red Larch, and it was most disturbing as they seem to have been infiltrated by a earth cult of some kind. We then made our way to Red Fox Inn Hall place.
The Scarlet Moon Hall.
Yep, we then made our way to the Scarlet Moon Hall, where there is a new circle of druids apparently trying to calm the elements in the region.
Have you heard of any of these rituals going on, by any chance?
As Gerbener is kind of talking about the cultists that you guys encountered in Red Larch, those sitting opposite him can tell that his face just kind of, especially after talking about the joy he gets out of flying upon aerial mounts, you can visibly see his face just darken in mood as he looks up kind of slowly to each member of the party, and he speaks, "Great evil lurks among these hills. Depraved cultists led by wretched monsters. But please, let us speak of such matters after this feast has warmed our blood. This is meant to be a time of celebration, after all."
Of course, I do not mean to intrude our curiosities into your celebration. Again, to friends.
And they all raise their glasses,
Yeah.
and the guy closest to Illyria cheers, "To friends!" They all take another drink.
And
On a
Larry's just
brighter
going to look at him like,
She scowls.
you are such a tool.
She scowls menacingly.
No, she doesn't scowl menacingly. She just gives him that look of, I am far too cool for this.
On a brighter note, I am very intrigued with these winged beasts you are able to control. Will you indulge us with a story on how that came about?
Do you mean from the olden days, the Griffin Cavalry of Waterdeep?
Yes, we have, as I say, I have heard of them, but I have never heard how they were able to tame such beasts. And these giant birds that you fly upon. Surely they are the equal, if not even greater than the Griffins.
And he lets out a little chuckle towards Gravender. He says, "Oh, I assure you, these vultures that the others fly are nothing close to the power of a griffin. But for you, my lady," and he turns his attention back to Mushi, says, "Oh, there have been men riding upon beasts for as long as they would dare. The riskier of individuals who would attempt it and succeeded have been greatly rewarded for their efforts. When I was but a boy growing up in the city of Waterdeep, I would often gaze out my windows for hours at a time at the numerous flying mounted cavaliers and just daydream of one day becoming one amongst their ranks. It wasn't until myself and another lad, what was his name? Hallwinter, Sildar, something along, it matters not. This lad and I, we teamed up together. And one of our earliest missions was to ride upon the back of a hippogriff, much more easy to fly around upon, especially for beginners. And it was our mission to take out a couple stray orcs. Well, since stepping onto the back of that marvelous beast, I've been entranced ever since. Though some would go about their hunting means on foot or by horse or mount, we, as I said before, there's nothing more freeing than soaring through the cloud tops. As far as how they are trained,
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say Sildar?
Yes, I believe that was the boy's name.
Do you happen to remember his last name?
Halewinter, something of the sort. It was many years ago, I'm afraid.
That is most strange, for I'm sorry again, our first adventure as a group was in Fandalen, and Sildar Hallwinter was the fighter knight type person from the King's Council in Waterdeep who assisted us in our attempts to save the town.
You don't say.
Indeed.
I recall the day he left the Griffin Cavalry, I must say I was completely shocked that anyone would choose to leave rather than being forced out the way I was.
He was part of the cavalry?
He was. We rode together for a number of years. Though after a few years he wasn't quite bitten by the bug, so to speak, as in the fashion that I was. And he chose to avert his efforts more towards the Lord's Alliance in the scattered regions about the cities of the outlying towns to see where best to avert his efforts. We have proposed our own membership towards the Alliance numerous times, but we have either been rejected or failed to hear back for one reason or another. Perhaps he holds some sort of a grudge towards me.
I'm sure he means all well with you. If that makes any sense.
So tell me, what were you lot doing in Fandalen then? How is Sildar? Tell me.
Sildar does well still. He is in service to the Lord's Alliance and was sent to investigate rumors of a gang of ne'er-do-wells who had essentially taken over the town.
Red Brands.
Yes, the Red Brands. A sad, pathetic group of rogues and, well, miscreants. They do not trouble the town anymore.
Well, I'm sure the likes of you had no problem dealing with such drivelry.
No, it was our duty to help the town. But, we did...
I wouldn't say we had no problems. However, we were successful in the end.
We found those who were behind the Red Brands. They were more formidable and had taken interest in Fandalen due to a mine that had not been in use for some hundreds of years.
Have you heard of the Rock Seekers?
I'm afraid I have not. Should I have?
They are a dwarf family who at one time
Own
worked
the
the
mine.
mine. There was much fighting apparently between orcs and dwarves over this mine, and there was something called the Spell Forge within it. It proved a tempting target for those with evil intent.
And you see him kind of lean back in his chair a minute, drink still in hand, and he's got like a look on his face like he's deep in thought. And says, I believe the name Spellforge does perchance ring a bell. I believe I have heard of this lost mine, though I was told it was but a fable.
We can assure you it was no fable.
And you say the lot of you cleared out this mine and rediscovered this lost forge all by yourselves. This is indeed remarkable.
We had some assistance, but largely, yes. It was not without loss, however.
Well then,
2 of our members ended up sacrificing their lives to see us through.
well then, and he kind of raises his glass again. And he says, "To lost friends who will never be forgotten."
To Droop and Rom and Threx.
To Droop and Threx.
You
It's
loved
alright.
Rom.
I didn't know any of them, so I don't care.
I don't care.
And once again, everybody around the table drinks.
And Mushi's going to put her hand on Lothar's shoulder and be like, this lucky bastard was able to not join us in this charade. He may have not fared so well as the rest of us.
Is that so? Well then, how did you come across his lake? Or rather, sir, how did you come across this remarkable party?
Well,
I wasn't here for that. I'd love to know.
Yes.
How did you prove yourself to enter into their ranks? Must have been a deed most impressive.
Yes, the deed that was most impressive was I sang a song and I helped kill their risen friend.
You're a musician.
I am a
That's
bard,
marvelous. Would you mind singing us a song?
yes. Sure.
This is a celebration, after all. And what's a celebration without music?
Well, shit.
Itsy bitsy spider.
Does anyone here within your keep play the drums? For our friend is a flutist and could use perhaps some accompaniment.
I suppose we can all beat our glasses against the table if that would help.
Yes. Yeah, sure. We'll go with the drum roll. That works.
And he looks about and he says, well, men, on his count.
All right. Shit, I'm
How about you?
terrible
Okay.
at improv.
Rules question. How about you spare us all and have him do a performance check, and then just describe what he does?
Oh, you're saying my singing is bad? Is that what you're saying? I see.
Nice. If you want to go for it, go for it.
I'll try it. I just have to think of something off the top of my head. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are a band of merry travelers. We head up and down the road. We'll take out the undead in the crypt and we will step on a toad. Whatever you do, we'll do it for pay. And if you're not nice, I don't
Make you go away.
Ruin your day.
we will go away, or we'll come back and fight you, because that's what we do. My friend Gabander has a mace, and if you don't like his god, he'll hit you in the face.
Please
Knights
let
around
him
you
roll
just
performance
break
for
out
that.
into applause. As Thurl once again
Oh my
raises
God.
his glass, and he says, "Indeed, remarkable."
I tell you, it was not a very high threshold that they gave me to join their group. It's more for my
will admit
skill in combat.
We were, well, we were low following the deaths of our two companions. We needed help, and our friend Lothar was willing to step up and help us, even though he knew us not. He has proven his worth in many fights since then.
I'm gonna shove him in the elbow and say, I warmed right up to him.
Yes. A fire child that warmed up to me. Isn't that exciting?
We haven't heard music in these halls since the Wind Harrows, but a few weeks ago. This was much more impressive than their, claim to be.
Well, with a little more preparation, I might be able to sing something even grander.
Is that so?
Not really. That's about the best I have.
Do not let him be modest. He knows many songs.
3, to be exact.
Well, from small beginnings, then.
Yes.
Oh, I just finished my drink.
And he snaps his fingers, and the knight around Lothar's side stands up, walks behind Miyoshi, leans over and refills her drink. Or taking his seat once again. And he says, "Well then, miss.
And I hold my glass up.
A few more cheers go out between the knights. So, what brought the lot of you to the Desert Valley from, especially after discovering such a mystical forge?"
Well, as we spoke earlier, the threat of
Prophecy.
yes,
We have heard.
prophecy. However, we can withhold further discussion until everyone is done with the revelry. For again, we do not wish to interrupt your celebration.
Very well, very well.
And Miyoshi's going to reach around and grab a biscuit because they look very appetizing and start chewing on it.
There were biscuits?
Of course they're biscuits.
I'll take one and toss it to your vendor.
So biscuits are being passed all over the table.
What is this? It looks like bread. I'm not familiar with these.
Grabenda, it's a flakier version of your bagel, just not fried.
Well, bagels aren't fried, but I believe I know what you mean.
Just
Do you
try
put
it.
things on it?
You can.
Such as?
The jams you can put. You can even put meats on it if you'd like.
Try it with honey. I
I'm going to
guarantee
take
it will be
honey.
good.
I'm going to take some of the pheasant, put
Oh,
it
he
on top
wants
of
a
the
present.
biscuit,
Right, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
and if there's honey, I'm going to take some of the honey.
Oh no!
Hey, there is still nothing wrong with that.
All right.
Hey, this is like
I mean,
going to
honey glazed
KFC.
ham is good.
And so I have biscuit with pheasant on top, and then honey on top of that.
All right.
Looks most interesting.
And at this point in time, Grabender's kind of captivated everyone at the table.
And
This is quite tasty.
I'll
Tasty
tap.
is this?
It is quite tasty.
What is
the
that?
hell?
We have pork chops with macaroni and cheese and peppers and onion diced and
It's not
Oh,
even
that-
fair.
Pheasant substitute.
You know what I got? Cookies.
I have cookies too.
I don't have cookies.
Oh,
I have
sorry.
Girl Scout cookies.
Oh.
Oh.
Anyway, I will tap Mushi again. And as I'm looking at Gerbender, I'll tap Miyushi, and I'll see if I can catch her eye, and I'll look towards the stairway again.
And I'm going to listen intently while glancing back at Lothar.
So let's see a perception
Aw,
check.
This is gonna.
Shadow wants some of your pork chops. 12.
I got higher than a double digit.
It's over 10.
It's over 10.
But you're still not hearing these footsteps.
My
But
God,
what
do
you
I have
do
to get you a
hear-
hearing cone? Holy hell!
What you do hear are
They're
the doors.
horns. They're not signals, okay?
The double doors once again burst open to the great hall, and another armored knight steps through, and he shouts out, "The mate! It's on the move!" And at this announcement, every one of the knights around the table rises up, leaving their plates before them unfinished. And Thurl
I
speaks
will
out.
rise as well.
Thurl speaks out. He says, "We should take this opportunity to slay this monster." And he reaches down and he pulls a ring from his finger, and he holds it up, and it appears to be a platinum ring with feathers intricately carved all around it. And he says, "A prize for the one who brings me the beast's head."
I got this.
And he looks to the new members, or the new people seated at this table, and he says, "Come then, won't you join us for this hunt?"
Of course.
yes,
Along
please.
the way, would you mind telling us what this hunt is for?
It's the other
And he-
manticore, dear.
He points up to the manticore head on the wall, and he says,
I
"This
thought he said
one's
something
mate."
The mate. The mate.
Oh, the mate. I thought he said something like magical. Okay, forget
Hi,
it.
matey.
Like, I don't know, like a Monte or something like that. I was like, ooh, what's that?
It's a
It's
Canadian.
a Monte.
It's a Canadian ranger.
Monte.
It's a
That's the new
matey
name for the
core.
mate. It's a Monte.
It's a Monte.
And he shouts over the table to Sabra, and he says, "Sabra, take them downstairs and prepare the hippogriffs for them."
Ooh. I don't have a very good animal handling check. I can't even get an ox to like me.
"The rest of you, to the pinnacle." And at once, all the knights step up and begin exiting the room.
And I am going to look towards. Oh, I'm in the way. 1 second. I don't. You need to put her name on her so I can remember her name.
Yes.
Not
Please. I would appreciate it.
Sabra.
There it is.
Sabra.
Sabra. And I look to Sabra ready for action. And Cassie will stand as well.
All right. So while each one of the knights goes up the stairs, Sabra says, "This way, follow me," and she begins heading down the stairs.
I'm
And
right behind
Mishi
you.
is gone. And
I'm
Cassie
following,
behind
but
her.
I'm grabbing the other part of whatever pheasant is left to take it with me.
the rest of the plate. Just have that. That's
I had
great.
to see Gerbender rocking with a big bowl full of like potatoes and carrots and,
And-
a big old pheasant on it.
One by one, the party makes their way downstairs, and there's one more armored knight down here, kind of tending to these large doors you can see circling the outside of this chamber. As circling this central shaft of the spiral staircase. This landing looks to be piled up high with supplies and bales of straw, and radiating from the landing look to be 12 stalls with straw-covered floors, harnesses, riding crops, and saddles hanging about the walls, and large swinging wooden doors look to cap either end of the stalls. One leading from the tower and one opening out to the open air beyond. And Sabr says there are 4 hippogriffs. Should each one of you choose to ride, a pair of you will have to go upon the same mount.
Oh.
Miyoshi and Cassie can ride together. I mean,
Fine.
but Miyoshi is
So-
totally driving.
Out of character question. Since there are 5 of us currently, and 3 of us here, maybe we should just, as long as we don't end up screwing Ruby and Cassie out of experience, maybe like just the 3 of us should go.
It's totally an option. Illyria can totally just kind of chill out here in the tower and snoop around if she wanted.
I think she would try to like find people to
Oh,
maybe not people to
everybody's
talk
leaving
to.
the tower. She would be all over that. She'd be like, "Sure,
Well, it's not going to
go
be
kill
everyone leaving the tower, but yeah,
All
she
the-
might stick
all the
around trying to
guards.
figure out what the hell's going on. And Cassie
She
can
totally
be the one
sneak
who like
around.
distract the people.
All right.
That's fine too. However, I would like to ask.
Yeah.
This battle that we're going into, I understand that we have guards on our side, but is it really meant for like 5 people and not 3? Are we gonna totally screw ourselves out of our lives?
It's okay.
Well-
I have slow fall. We'll be all right. As long as
It
you
doesn't
stay
matter if you're
close.
on the ground, die.
Is that what you're asking the rest of your party?
No, that's what I'm asking you. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, just like, are we gonna screw ourselves if only 3 of us
That's
go into
metagaming.
battle?
Stop that.
How are you supposed to know? You're not supposed to know.
I'm not supposed to. Okay,
Don't
fine.
answer
We'll just
her.
do it. Let's just do it, guys. Let's
We're-
just go.
Hey.
I got a fireball. We got this.
All that does is makes us more baller. All right.
You know what? That's totally cool. We got this. We got this. I just don't want to die today. That was our goal at the beginning. Remember, we're not going to die. Let's do this. I'm ready. Do I have to do an animal handling check, though? Because I'm totally screwed.
Yeah, I've only got a +1, so
Hopefully, be better than your ox.
Like, it's bad.
strap in.
I have a 0. But, yeah, okay, let's do this. Let's do this.
All right,
I'm ready. I'm
so
pumped.
how are we pairing up?
We're not now that there's just 3 of us.
Okay, so what am I doing?
Lothar just wanted to ride with somebody. All right,
Oh,
so
fun.
If you're scared, I'll hold your hand.
Oh, good.
So we
that
got
way if we fall,
Yuki,
you'll be
Gerbender,
scared.
and Lothar each stepping up towards one of these hippogriffs.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right, so the doors open, and these beasts look like they've kind of been trained for such an event as they kind of lower their heads down, almost giving a kind of bow as each one of you enters their stalls. And Sabr goes about placing a saddle and tightening it and asking each one of you to step up. She gives kind of a brief overview of kind of how the reins work for a mounted creature of this sort.
And Miyoshi is going to slowly approach her, is extremely cautious. She knows she's not very good with animals, especially her recent experience with her ox. And she's just going to kind of put her hand out with her like palm down, like, I kind of want it to smell me first. Like, no, I'm not an enemy. Like, she's going to be extremely cautious. And when she sees it bow, she's going to kind of bow with it, giving it like, we're cool, right?
And it does give another bow as if to say, yeah, bro, we're cool.
Oh, God. Yeah, bro.
And Gerbender's just gonna walk up to his and like pat
We
him on the
get
head.
character sheets? That's awesome. This is like the best day ever, guys. Best ever.
Oh god, I wish I was the next level so I could switch out one of my spells because it would be so awesome.
They have fantastic perception. It's a plus.
That's the beast, not you.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
They have amazing
That's
eyesight.
awesome.
They're practically eagles.
It's great. I'm so excited right now.
All
You can
right.
tell.
That's okay.
So, Grabender, what were you saying? He steps up to his and
He just like pats it on the head, like he doesn't really know what the heck's going on, but he's like,
its head kind of like loosely beats down kind of with each pat, kind of like it's kind of used to taking all variety of riders.
"All right."
And Lothar, what about you?
I'm
You
just
step into
gonna
this.
I'm just gonna nimbly hop up there and I'll just give it a nice little pet on the neck.
All right.
Just kind of stroke it.
So as each one of you steps upon the side the
Savra, am I supposed to give it an apple?
she says, oh, worry not, Mr. Dragonborn friend. It may take better care of you than you would ever take of it. And with that, each one of these creatures just leaps over this 400 foot of nothingness right below it. And with that, the three party members find themselves
Ooh,
flying high in the sky just outside of the Feathergales.
Seriously. Oh my god. I'm like imagining a roller coaster, you know, when you get to like the very top and like you're looking down and it's just like everything in your stomach just like it's great. I'm so
So
excited.
this would be like one of those roller coasters where you get to the very top and you look down and there's no roller coaster track there.
Yeah, roller coasters have seatbelts.
And I'm gonna kind of lean in and like hold it a little bit tighter.
All right, so you can see 4 mounted knights upon the backs of vultures, along with Thurl Moroska on the back of a majestic-looking griffin. And they all kind of seem to be flapping their wings and kind of hovering in place, waiting for the group to appear. And upon seeing you guys, Thurl makes his way over towards the party, and he shouts out, "So tell me, new friends, how do you wish to track down this manticore? The lot of you versus the lot of us in a bit of a competition to see who can find it and bring it down first? Or should we all just swarm the beast with the lot of us?"
I would say, since you are more familiar with this area, that would give you an unfair advantage in this competition. I would say that we should travel as a group and just be rid of this beast.
Very well,
Dragonborn are not meant to fly.
And he shouts, "A lot of you guys, well then, follow me!" And he nimbly darts in front of the group,
All right.
quickly followed by a pair of the vultures, kind of taking up either side of the party.
I'm gonna stay close to Grabender and Mushi just in case if I need to.
Oh, I only moved the griffin, not myself.
And with that, Mushi jumps off
Just
the
a fall.
Oh no! Do I have to go save
That's
her
how
already?
you-
Beat in their first round.
And this is how
Didn't
we
even make
reroll
it
new
to a fight.
characters. By the way, guys, I know how to do that already.
Oh Lord.
All right. So, would one of you like to roll me a d20
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8?
Got it. 23.
Ah. On my screen,
Oh,
mine
wait,
popped up.
oh, yours is
Yep.
first.
Lucy's rolled first.
Hers.
All right.
That's not even fair. No, okay.
So as
And like lightning.
everybody makes their way further around the opening of this canyon below them. In the distance, I don't know if I put it on this map.
Say what?
There it is. They spot what looks to be a familiar beast in the distance, slowly flying away. It looks to have the body of a lion and the tail of a scorpion. And it's covered in spines.
This isn't good.
As Thurl shouts out, "There it is!" And with that, everybody go ahead and roll me initiative.
Wait, I have to zoom in to see how far away it is from us.
This is so bad. 90.
And also, the blue numbers on your hippogriffs are essentially just going to be how high up you are.
God, I'm doing terrible. I need to change colors.
Wait, Gabender, did you roll for your hippogriff?
I selected myself.
My spells, like 90% of them are touch based.
Don't worry, mine are all ranged. I got this, guys.
So I'm gonna have to run in and like grab
Man,
this.
just
bit.
keep my 18. You can take the -1. You can take the 1 away.
Yeah.
I'll say, come on, man.
I've got a 7.
Roll
You guys
roll
are gonna
again.
kill this thing
I
before
still
I
don't
get
see a
to it.
Gravender on initiative.
Just because you took it away. Okay, see?
Hippogriff.
I'm trying to select
Where is
Gravender and it just
the
selects
fire?
both.
Oh,
Gravender
you know
might-
what? If you look at the layer, Gravender is underneath
just
the Griffin.
Put
so-
Gravender on top. You said that was an 18?
Yes.
The original roll was an 18, yes.
All right.
Damn.
I am
Okay,
not gonna do. You guys are gonna have this thing dead by the time I get to it. It's gonna be great.
It will be great. One of us will get the ring. We'll fight over the head.
We can hope.
How long?
Do this. I'm so pumped right now.
All right.
Let's
Just gonna bring up everyone's character sheet for this. So, Manticore.
I can do fireball on it right now.
I'm kinda halfway. Can't metagame this.
Much appreciated.
Oh,
Culture. And I'm not positive on the rule, but for the sake of simplicity, we can just say the mount takes its turn. Your mount takes its turn on your turn.
That would make sense.
Go Broncos. Sorry,
Don't tell me any
Unacceptable.
scores.
I won't.
They don't have any distance attacks.
That just reminded me that I should probably go set that up to record.
Oh, quick!
You're
Be
missing
right back.
it.
All right.
Well, while he's disappearing, I'm gonna refill my wine glass. Super fast.
All right, quick! Take 5. Take 5, everyone. Take 5. Okay, between you and me, how stupid would it be if I jumped on top of that manticore?
If you can make it to the Manticore, fine. If you don't, you got 400 feet of nothing.
I got slow fall. I'm all right. I just
But
don't
then
know.
you're falling 30 feet, and there's still a Manticore there.
Oh no! Well, oh yeah, if I miss, but
And then if you break concentration on it,
oh yeah. Well,
I think it's a concentration.
yeah, I think it is.
So it could be bad.
Let me see. Level 1. Featherfall. No, it is
Nope.
not. It just straight up
All
works.
right. Well, that's handy.
But it lasts up to 1 minute, so we would have to like, okay, if we're only 400 feet up, then according to Chris Perkins, it only takes 6 seconds, so I would be okay.
What do you mean?
Oh, that picture you tweeted in
Right.
Skype. If we're only 400 feet up, then it takes 6 seconds, so that'll last until I land down the ground.
But it
lasts for a
doesn't
minute.
take you 6 seconds to drop because it would be 30 feet every 6 seconds.
Is it 30 feet every second? Well, I can cast it right before I hit the ground.
Right.
That's what I'm saving it for. I'm
But
like,
for something like that, I think I would have you make like a concentration check.
oh, a
As you're
casting check.
falling and
Casting
tumbling
check.
through the air, trying to make the hand gestures and any components and the like.
If actually, all it requires is material and verbal. But if you
So
would
you
if you
gotta
would have
pull
made me
stuff out.
deaf, if you would have made me deaf, I could get away with it. I could totally get away with it. because I don't need to speak anything. But too bad. Don't.
Yeah, so you'd have to be fumbling around in your pouch to fill out the right ingredients while falling in the middle of the air.
I've got an interesting question. Since the Oracle uses the same divine spellcasting as clerics, can I paint something on my shield and use that as a holy symbol? Because I know you can do that for clerics.
As like a spell focus,
yeah.
sure.
Aha. So I could get away with my material components if I put something on my shield.
But you haven't yet.
I know. Quick, in the middle of the air, paint something on your shield. No. I was just thinking about that. I was like, wow, if I was a deaf oracle with a shield, I would no longer need to speak or hold any components or do hand signs if I have Warcaster? So if you're a deaf oracle with a holy symbol on your shield and you have Warcaster, you no longer have to do anything for spells. As long as they're cleric spells, I guess. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't specify. I guess the holy symbol would only work for the divine spells, right? That'd be kind of overpowered. I am quite curious about that now. I'm gonna figure that out. Where are the things? Oh, does my urchin background help me anyway in this situation? I don't think it does. Spellcasting. It's so weird spellcasting between two different classes. Holy symbol. The holy symbol represents God or Pantheon. Ooh, inlaid on an... Okay, yeah, that might be a little worth it. List of symbols. Yeah, it's spellcasting focused. Okay. Cool. Actually, so I could have a pendant and do the same thing, or something like that. Interesting.
Is it already back around to the Griffin's turn again?
Oh, we didn't even do anything.
Oh yeah, it's dead. You guys killed it.
Sweet. Did I get the ring?
No, I was.
Oh no!
I was debating.
I
if
got the
could...
head.
Got the ring, but then he dropped it. So.
But it's.
All you gotta do is just search this canyon for
But
it.
it falls
Should be no
quite
problem.
slowly. No, I was. Yeah, I can't say it. I would really love to do that, but I'd probably screw up and then I'd kill another character, so I don't want to do that. If there was some way I could guarantee it, I would do it, but I don't think I can guarantee it.
All right, so the Manticore spots this flock of people closing in on it, and it takes a whip of its tail, and as it does so, a number of spiked barbs go flying for the group. The first slamming into the vulture behind Lothar for 5 points of piercing. Second slamming into the vulture next to Lothar for 4 points of piercing. The third flying into the hippogriff Lothar's on for 6 points of piercing. And the last coming straight for the griffin that Thurl is upon for 6 points of piercing. With that, Grubender's up.
So,
Take it
each of
down.
these squares is 5 feet still?
Yes.
Or, okay.
and it proceeds to fly away from the party 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to there. Yeah, you guys are high enough up that these are still 5 feet squares. Just this is your view from high up in the sky.
Right, so we're way up there. Okay.
Way up. 400 feet.
160. Damn.
Ah,
So far away.
just want my character. What's the speed with the griffin?
Of the hippogriff
Yeah. Or no, I'm only hippogriff. There we go.
is 40.
Okay, that's 40. And 110, 120 feet. Okay. Apparently these are 10-foot squares.
1 second. Now they should be 5.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. 60 feet.
Oh, good. Whew. I'll never be able to hit it. We're good. God.
Oh, that should mean that I get to move further, too.
If you did it based off the number, then yeah.
Yeah, because I did it based off the number.
Okay, yeah.
Do, 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 do.
5, 10,
Already.
15, 20, yeah. So I got 2 more squares to move. Or no. Basically, you got double wherever you want to go. Boom.
I can't seem to select Gerbender anymore, so whatever.
I'll move him for you.
He just sticks with the Griffin.
But his
The
speed
griff.
isn't 40. No.
Okay, so from there, I am going to use my Sacred Flame cantrip.
All right.
So 6 radiant damage, but it's going to make a save against DC 13. A dex save.
Dex save. As it just swirls into a barrel roll, with dodging your Sacred Flame without a problem.
Stupid barrel rolls.
Roar. Anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on my Hippogriff.
All right. Shield. Boom. All right. +2 to AC. All right. As this field just kind of pops up and shimmers across this hippogriff's gleaming coat of feathers, creating an invisible barrier between Gerbender and, or not between Gerbender and this guy, as between this hippogriff and the air around it, as this holy energy begins to surge through the beast itself. And with that, Thurl is up. And Griffin. Swoops forward a little bit past Gerbender. That's still the Griffin. Where did he go? And he hurls a lance towards the Manticore, and narrowly it slams into the back of the Manticore for 14 points of piercing damage. And he lets out a triumphant fist pump. And he turns back to Gerbender and he says, "Unfortunately, I've only got the one of those." And with that, Mushi's up.
Ah!
And she is going to go forward to right here.
All right.
And she's going to cast all 3 of these onto him.
At Grabender.
Seriously?
All right. So 2 of them are going to hit for a total of 12 points of fire damage.
I would like to add on here, if I roll a 1 and become a plant, I would really be happy if I don't die.
Well, then you're just a potted plant falling.
I know. That's gonna suck. Really bad.
You wouldn't
I
be
like shatter.
dying so much as shattering all over the floor.
I'm just saying. I hope someone will catch me.
And I'm not positive. Lucas, I think you're muted.
I think you
I wasn't.
I was going to say, and I'm not positive, but I think the feather fall that Lothar has to be targeted on a person or even a creature.
I think it is.
So he
creature.
couldn't. It wouldn't work on a potted plant.
Are you saying plants aren't alive?
Yes, I'm
No.
saying potted
It's
plants
just,
aren't alive.
no, it is. It's creatures. It wouldn't work on a plant.
Oh, no.
All right, Mushi. Anything else you'd like to do?
I think that's what I got.
All right. With that, the knights are up. Vulture.
I need to change my color. It's like a 50-50 shot right there.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. As they just dart forward on their giant vultures.
Their vultures can go farther than the hippogriffs?
They
That's nice.
can.
Yeah.
That's why they gave us these. It was an unfair fight to begin with.
He did tell you the hippogriffs are kind of like beginner level things. And each one of them hurls a spear at the manticore. Ooh, one of them got a double crit.
Nice.
These move 40, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Jesus. So that's going to be crap. Anybody know offhand whether the throne spear is a D6 or the D10?
The throne spear? It's probably D6.
Yeah.
Hold on, I've got that. Quick.
D6.
Oh.
Okay, so that's going to be 11 points of piercing damage from the one spear.
I did say D6 first, though.
But the other 3 are just flapped away as this one spear pierces into its wing. He just kind of raises up his wings and knocks the other 3 out of the air. And with that, Lothar is up.
Ooh. Okay, Lothar. So, I'm gonna, how do you select multiple? Oh, God. I just put my character underneath my thing. Okay, anyway. 40 feet. Alright, so that puts me within... 35 feet. Why do I have to be on the backside of this griffin? Alright, fine. fine.
I mean, you can try riding on the griffin's face or have it carry you. But from here, you just have to climb down.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't want to do that. Alright.
What's 400 feet?
right. God, why has that got to be 30 feet? Touch spell. Alright, nope. I don't want to use that because he's not in contact with anybody.
Didn't you kind of go over before you went straight down? If you just went straight down, you might be able to get closer.
I don't remember where I was.
I don't remember either. Was he just straight up?
I can't control ZM.
I don't know. I think I was around here, but it's still 40 feet, so no matter which way you look at it.
Sometimes you get lucky.
I'm gonna. Oh, you know what? Haha. Let's try this. I'm gonna viciously mock this. It's Manticore. And I will say, you look like one of those cats that run into a wall.
All right, let's see it.
Okay, I rolled
16 whiz.
it. Yeah, and he'll take. Yeah.
And you can see it looks distracted upon hearing this. And
Oh,
it stops its frantic spin and begins hovering in place for a second with a look of pain upon its face and confusion.
yes.
That's great.
That's fantastic. That's all it does.
Anything
right?
else?
Yes. Let's see. Gerbender is right next to me, correct?
Yeah.
He won't be able to catch up. I'm gonna inspiration Miyoshi.
All right.
So I'll use one of those. And say, Miyoshi, use your fire on him. It's the creature.
I can totally
All
do
right. Miyoshi, you are inspired upon hearing this.
Yay!
that. I feel extremely inspired right now.
All right.
Go, Miyoshi, go. Go, Miyoshi.
And Lothar, the Manticore shouts back to you. Your mother's not going to recognize your mutilated corpse when I'm through with you.
It's already mutilated.
My mother's dead. And have you seen this
grin
face?
flicker across its face.
And have you seen this face? Can you straighten it back up?
As it lurches towards the nearest giant vulture, grabbing hold of it with its claws, and with both claws it rips down and bites a hold of it with its mouth.
Ooh. Come closer, my prey. Come closer. Does the griffin have like a?
And the vulture looks very bad at this point, as the Manticore flicks its tail once again in the direction of Lothar.
It's
As
doing
all
what?
three spines are headed towards
Oh,
him.
that's right. It can shoot spines. Yes.
And 13. Surprisingly, none of them hit your hippogriff,
Oh, you
as it seems
bitch.
distracted. And with that, it lunges off of the giant vulture it's attached to.
I'm
And
gonna move back away. I see how it is. Quit running, you bitch.
vulture is going to take an attack of opportunity.
If only I had a lance. My world for a
And
lance.
it's going to hit for as it slashes back at the Manticore.
Ooh.
20, 25, 30. As it continues to fly in the direction it was headed.
How much movement speed does that thing have?
30.
That was
And
a
with
lot.
that, Gerbender is up.
Rules question.
Oh, yeah, that's 3 feet. Holy crap.
Here's the
We
weapon.
will barely be able to catch this thing.
I can make it pretty slow.
Ben?
Weapon within range.
I
Your
can't
mic is
hear
like-
you.
Really faint.
Come in, Ben. Come in.
You can hear me now? Is that better?
Nope.
Barely.
This is Major Tom to ground control.
Hello.
Nope.
I can hear you saying hello, but it's like very faint.
Living space.
Hello.
Oh my god, that reminds me of Zoolander. Hello. Hello. Mr. Gerbender. Hello.
Come in, Gerbender. Come in.
Oh man. That's right.
It's been a second. He might be dead.
Oh, God.
Oh god.
And with that, Gerbender just lets go of the harness. And he falls.
No. I will try and catch him.
I will
But
use
he's
my
dead.
reaction to
I'd probably
cast
drop him.
Featherfall. Just kidding. I can't do that. That'd be awesome, but I can't.
What are you looking at?
My chat.
Oh.
Oh no!
What?
Roll20 muted him for
What
all
is
of his
this?
profane language.
Nonsense.
This is when we need to learn sign language.
No. Gribender just can't speak right now. Please leave a
Nope.
message after the tone.
Lothar, this is what it'd be like if you were deaf.
I know. It would be
Horrible.
awesome. I would have to take the feat. I could read everybody's lips. Because if I took that, then I could just listen to them talk. Because then I could read what they're saying anyway.
I would always
They're
talk
all
like this.
facing you.
We're in the middle of battle, and she's like,
Little does Lothar know, Mushi's just been casting silence on him this whole time.
That would be great.
that would. Ooh. Awesome plot
Don't give me
twist.
ideas.
No, that would be fantastic. Be like, oh, by the way, Lothar, you are no longer withered. By the way, you're now muted, deaf.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened. That is interesting, though. Someone put a suggestion on one of the Oracle forums that you could get rid of your disease or your curse by having a deity burn it out, and then it would give you the blackened curse. And I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
I mean, because then all it does is just make your skin all charred, and you need some moisturizers.
Yeah, put the lotion on the
Yeah,
skin.
because your skin's already doing great as it is.
I know,
Be
right?
right back. I'm going to refill my drink.
Aw.
I have to open a whole new bottle if I do that, and I'm not sure if I'm willing to make that commitment.
Oh. But we're only halfway through.
I know.
Oh my
But
god.
Mondays are already bad, and if I drink 2 bottles of wine, they're worse.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to be an adult about this. I don't know if I can, though.
Can you hear me?
Ben, say something.
Kind of.
I have been saying something.
There it is. There it is. I think your wire is jacked up. Maybe it like loosened or something, because it was just fine, and then when you moved, it worked.
Wait,
So
keep
can you hear me
talking.
now?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I still sound like normal?
Yes.
Yeah, you
yes.
sound like normal now.
Okay. I will just sit here and
Yay.
hold the wire like this for the rest of the game.
Perfect. What you need is
You're
some
not a-
foil and make an antenna and
Just use your horns.
just use.
I think this is
Dragons
karma
don't
from
have-
the gods because you always eat in front of us, and so this is saying you're not allowed to eat. You have to hold your wires.
Fair enough.
Oh my god.
hmm
So, since Zen's not
Now
here,
we're not gonna be able to hear you anymore.
just kidding. He's
Hmm?
here.
He still can't hear you. You got 5 seconds. Never mind.
What is that in your mouth? That looks disgusting.
Meat. Pork chop.
I thought it was a kazoo when I came back.
His wire was messed up, and so I told him that's the gods with karma because he always eats in front of us, and now he's forced to hold the wire.
He was chewing on the wire the whole time.
Oh, they don't have blackened in the updated one. I'd have to work
Okay.
on that.
So, I had a rules question.
Yeah.
Since I can make my holy weapon or magic weapon or whatever it was, anything I want, can I make it a bow and arrow?
I don't think you.
I'll say sure.
Does it say a melee weapon, or does it say it has to be just a weapon?
Can you
Says you
just
make a melee attack.
hit that button real quick?
Yeah, it's just like my character sheet back.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what ability it is? I can just look it up.
Spiritual weapon.
Spiritual weapon.
That's the one.
Yes.
278.
Special within range. Well, I will say this. It doesn't matter because it's a floating weapon.
Right.
So it can be a great sword right behind that thing. It doesn't even have to be a bow.
Yes, but I want it to be a bow because the thing has a limited range of motion once it's cast.
I will say yes, but it'll be a reduced range bow. So like you can still cast it within 60 feet, but then the range of it becomes 60 feet.
Sure.
Okay.
So that is...
So I'm going to summon a bow
Which
basically
bow?
in my hands.
Which bow? This is important.
The bow.
It's a spiritual weapon. It's going to be a short bow.
Short bow.
But it's going to look super awesome because it's going to look like a dragon mouth at the center and then
Gonna look like
wings
magic.
on either side.
Kind of like
It
one of the
spits out.
cannons in Mulan.
Ooh.
Yes. Dragon
I haven't
cannon.
seen that one, so sure.
What?
Oh.
Oh my god, that's a
And
great
Just give
movie.
you,
Where would you like to
can
put
I
it?
just give you a
I'm
cannon?
going to be holding it.
Okay.
It's
Perfect.
It's basically a 4-foot firework with a golden dragon head that shoots the firework out of it. It's awesome. Looks like it's breathing fire.
You've never seen Mulan? That's like my childhood.
Sacrilege.
See, I had Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, and
I also watched those, but like Mulan,
Yeah,
she's a
but those were my childhood.
Don't
There's
worry,
a lot
Ben.
of things that were my childhood that I do not want to.
I got you covered.
Barney.
No, thank God, no.
I like Totoro also. He's my man.
See, that's based on actual Chinese stuff, though.
Fantastic.
Hello.
I love it.
Okay,
yeah,
anyway.
it's from Draconia.
So does an 18 hit?
Oh, sorry, I did not see that.
Ah,
But yes, an 18 is definitely going to hit
Yes.
for 9 points of force damage as this dragon arrow slams into the side of this manticore. It lets out a roar and turns its attention towards the hippogriff that Gribender is mounted upon.
Eh,
Bring it,
just-
bitch.
eh,
Just to, I guess, double check for my own sake, you used your movement and then your action to dash, and then used your bonus to make the spiritual weapon?
Yes.
Okay. Just so I know what's going on. All right. And in that case, Thurl's going to be up. And he goes
If only I could squeak out
10,
5 more
15,
feet out of
20,
this guy.
25, 30 to there.
30. Oh, you asshole. Now I'm not going to be able to hit him.
And he's just got he draws out his sword and he fires from the tip of its sword, just a beam of frigid white light fires forward and slams into the wing of the manticore. And you can see icicles kind of forming up across its wing and it flapping of its wings begins to slow down ever so slightly.
Ooh. I wish I was close enough.
And Mushi.
I just needed 5 more feet. 5 more feet.
Dashing on the other side of it. Wait, sorry. Metagaming.
okay. I am going to. Real quick, how is this manticore looking right now?
Like, as its wings are freezing up, it's starting to look a little rough.
I'm going to cast this on it then. Hopefully it does something.
What? You feel the air spinning daggers. You keep 5 feet on each side centered. On a point you choose, a creature that takes damage when it enters the area spell for the first time on a turn.
All right, and where do you want that put?
Focused on him, so I mean, I would assume
He
more
takes up
towards-
4 squares, so
I know, like I guess more towards his head. Then go aiming towards his head.
Like there?
Or
Yeah.
do you want it slightly further because he's going to run from us?
Yeah, okay. We'll aim it down, more towards his back. We'll go for this corner right here.
The butt corner.
The butt corner.
The butt.
Got it.
Let's stab him in the ass.
And so if he moves, he takes 12 damage. In a man.
So it takes damage when it enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there.
Mm-hmm.
So when it starts its turn, it's going to take 12 slashing damage, essentially.
And you almost got a wild magic.
Yeah.
It was a 5, okay? I was like 4 off.
That was
Not
pretty
even a big
close.
deal.
That was pretty close. What would a 35 have been? Hold on, I've got that marked on my thing here.
I've got them marked. Everyone has it marked.
Ben, what's metagaming about
Roll a
knowing
d10, your
that
age
challenge
changed.
rating and
Oh my
knowing
god,
if
you would have
it's
changed
good
an
enough
age.
for 3 people rather than 5?
I would have changed an age.
Yep. If the
Ow.
roll is odd, you get younger, minimum of 1 year. If the roll is even, you get older.
Woo. I could be 21 again, guys.
All right, Mushi, anything else from you?
That's it. I can't do bonus actions, and my hippogriff is too far to do anything.
All right.
You
We are
can't.
good.
Oh, don't you have sorcerer points?
Yeah, but we got this. And if I were to use those, I'd probably do like
20, 25.
you know,
Just saying.
fireball.
Platinum ring.
Well, now that you say that,
Too late.
50.
Oh, wait.
As the
I just pulled an
manticore
Amanda,
gets
that's metagame.
surrounded by the vultures.
I do want that ring though. I'll take it down.
And they begin
Nice
swinging their swords at the manticore, and it's just fighting back with everything it's got. But despite that, 3 of them manage to land hits for 10, 17, 17 plus 8. Okay. And they are just carving this manticore open. With that, Lothar is up.
Ooh, Lothar is up. Okay. Let's see. So that looks like, the perfect place for me to fit into. Wait, why is that 25 feet? Oh, wait, is it going from the center? I'm confused. How do you
It
mark
goes
this
from
out?
where you're going.
No. I'm talking measurement of distance here. Like, front corner should be like 40 feet to there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's where I'm moving, because it's doing something funky, so I'm going
Just
right
like top left corner would be 40 feet from the top left.
there. Right. Anyway.
Okay.
It put Lothar at like 55 feet, and so I didn't care for that. So I'm right there. And so
All right.
I'm not quite in range. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast a spell.
Ooh,
Speaking of that, I need to lower...
their spells.
Yeah, my spells. I used a cantrip last time, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to use this, and hopefully it works. Really?
Dissonant Whispers, DC 16.
I
Okay.
rolled 3d6. Okay, so I got 5 damage. Okay, yeah. DC 16 Wisdom.
All right. All right. So it barely seems to notice as Lothar finishes casting this spell.
All right. Well, as a bonus action,
Whoever's currently talking, I'm getting robot voice from you.
Me? Hello.
That's Lothar.
No.
Does everyone sound like a robot or just him?
It might be me because I think I'm hearing robot voice from Yushi now.
Okay.
It's you.
If you guys
I
can,
think it sounds
can you guys
good.
hear each other fine?
Yes.
I think you need to re-roll because the robots are attacking.
Crap. Okay, so it's my turn to refresh roll 20.
I think that's all fair, right? He should re-roll that last roll just because the robots are attacking.
Just so you know, speaking of sorcery points, I no longer have the spell that gives me 2 spells for 1 because I switched it.
You're allowed to do that?
No. But I did. I was allowed to.
Oh.
Because he let me. Because I never used those 2, and so I changed it to these other 2.
Ooh.
Mostly for the fact that I was going to, because I just got Fireball, and I thought it'd be totally badass if I like showed up one day and cast Fireball on everyone,
Mm-hmm.
and I could use a Careful spell. And originally I thought it meant that no one got damaged, but it just means they get the half damage, and then I could use the Empower spell and make it that much more badass. And I was like, this is gonna be so awesome if I cast it and everyone's inside the circle, but no one gets hurt. And then I realized that they just have to take half damage, so I never did it that way. But it would have been really cool.
So what you're
Oh, yeah, I
saying
had it
is
all
that
worked
you
out.
probably should have went
Yay.
back to the way it was. Hello.
No, because now I have Empowered spell, and I can make it more
You can
badass
do
as
some
a
damage.
spell.
Okay,
Yes.
so it made it save, correct?
Yes.
All right. As a bonus action, I will just inspire Gerbender.
Oh, I'm
Alright.
still inspired too.
Yes, you are.
Yep, you didn't use it.
Well, it's
Forgot
only
about
it's only
that.
for attack rolls, so she hasn't done anything with an attack roll since I inspired her, because she acted before me. So
Oh.
I can totally attack him now. Being inspired.
as long as it's
I just have to remember.
Okie doke.
I totally wish he would
On a
have
star.
failed that, because that would have been awesome to see 4 opportunity attacks on that guy. Great. Oh well. Oh wait, he takes 3 damage or 2 damage.
12 damage.
12. What?
Yeah, from the Cloud of Daggers.
Oh, yeah. But did he take his half damage on mine?
Yes, he took
Okay.
the 2.
Woo! Look at me go, guys. 2 damage. Woo!
All right, so he takes the 12 points of damage, and he lashes out at the already wounded vulture closest to him. And he double crit this time.
Ooh.
And this vulture just crumples under the powerful jaws of this manticore. And the knight atop the vulture begins to fall as the manticore whips around and continues with its claws into the giant vulture on its opposite side and deals 16 points of slashing damage before firing off another volley of spikes in the direction of Lothar. At disadvantage because it would be a ranged attack
In melee.
in melee range. So, Lothar,
I
a
should-
21 is going to hit your mount for 6 points of piercing damage.
How much health does my mount have, by the way?
Currently 7. As a second spike hits. No, wait. Does not hit. Does not hit.
Okay.
And then a 15, 8, that's going to hit for 10 piercing damage. So,
Am I-
Lothar,
I'm falling.
your mount as well just darts out of. It gets slammed in the chest by one of these spikes, rears back, goes into a bit of a roll, avoiding 2 more as a 4th slams into it, and it just goes limp underneath you.
Bye, guys. I'm sorry.
And with that, Gerbender is up.
He's falling right now?
Yep.
Lothar and another knight are both falling.
Fuck that
So
guy, save me.
the hippogriff is just dead.
The hippogriff is dead.
It's not like unconscious.
It could be unconscious.
I cast healing word on this.
So Lothar, a hippogriff, a knight, as well as a giant vulture are all falling through the air.
Okay.
Heal them, then. Use
So I will say-
resolution.
Currently, this hippogriff is essentially just going in a dive, kind of spiraling around, and Lothar is, I would say, like, if this hippogriff were to come back to life, it would require a constitution check to kind of regain itself,
Right.
as well as Lothar making some kind of a acrobatics or athletics check to, like, grab back hold of this fucking saddle
Oh, shit.
to hang on for dear life.
Oh, shit.
this could be bad.
Hmm.
But it could work. Let's be optimistic, guys.
Character number 3.
Mass healing word.
All right.
So, I want the vulture, the hippogriff. Did Lothar take any damage?
Nope.
I don't think so.
No, just the
Okay.
mouse.
Anything that looks like it's taken damage.
All
So
right.
I've got up to 6.
So
Not the
the
Manticore.
vulture that the Manticore has currently been lashed to can heal 5. Then there's another giant vulture that took a couple spikes, if you want that one too.
I can say it right now. I fucking hate your monster set.
You did threaten its mother.
No, I didn't. He threatened my mother. I said he looks like
He
a cat
said-
that ran into a wall.
Exactly.
You started flinging the
He was
insults.
That's right, you taunted
very
it.
upset.
And it understood you.
And it understood me. That's even worse.
Manticores speak common.
That's fantastic.
You learn something new every day. All right, so Hippogriff. So Lothar,
Mm-hmm.
will you roll me a Constitution check for your Hippogriff?
What's its saving throw? Check.
Yeah,
Check. Saving.
save.
Okay. Well, I don't have his. What is his?
Well, it was on the character sheet I gave to you, but I can do it.
You
Oh.
gave that to Miyushi.
I made it public to everybody.
I don't see it. Where? Okay, hold on. Where is it at? I want to know. Oh, there it is. It's
Should
at
be-
the bottom. There we go. I can roll it. I can roll it.
It's like in the middle for me. So.
Oh, wow. Oh, I should have used mine. Shit. All right, I'm gonna die.
It just means it's
So-
still falling.
Eh.
Lothar, you are continuing to fall on this griffin, and you can feel it kind of jerking underneath you.
Mm-hmm.
Grubender, is there anything else you would like to do this turn?
Yes, because my spiritual weapon can still attack as a bonus action.
All right,
So
fire away.
I'm gonna just cast it again without, because that's
Yeah.
the attack roll.
That's
So
perfect. Yeah.
Oh.
wait,
As you're a little bit distracted by everything that's going on and all these figures now falling out of the sky, you pull back on the spiritual weapon string of this dragon-like cannon, and this spiritual string snaps as your focus is just kind of drawn from it for only a split second, but that's all it takes to miss on this one shot.
yeah,
God. It's-
All right.
I am so glad I took Featherfall.
Featherfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so are we.
It's alright, you'd have a monk coming up next. Hey, I'm gonna go through all the characters at this point. Don't worry about it. I got you covered.
So, Lothar, as you are thinking about how lucky you are that you took Featherfall, you can feel a sense of lightness about you as Thurl is pointing his sword in the direction of you and your falling hippogriff. And you feel a lightness about you as if Featherfall has just been cast upon you. And your descent begins to slow, as well as the hippogriff you are with, as well as the large vulture and the knight.
I will yell. What is his name again? Thorl?
Yes.
Thurl.
Thorl. I'm gonna yell up to Thorl and said, "I'm glad I wore my brown pants."
All right. And with that, Mushi would be up.
She's gonna cast something overly devastating, and
She should cast Magic Missile. She has a wand of it. Just
I
whack.
know. All right, so you only fall 60 feet per round.
And it was half a round, so 30 feet.
Well, I
This
was going to say
part
60 feet on your turn.
Which means I can't catch up back up to them.
Because this is all happening like in a split second.
Right. Okay. So if I were to cast a spell, I'd be 60 feet away, 70 feet away from him, 65 feet, something like that. Okay. So I'd still have to use my movement to get within range.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You
I'm
should-
alive.
Yoshi, you're up.
You're muted.
I'm ready, guys. I got this. Okay. So, let's see.
How long does your dagger thing last? Oh.
It's a concentration, so as long as she wants it to.
Is it concentrated?
Up to a certain amount of time, yeah.
I want to say like up to a
minute.
minute. Something like that.
Ooh,
Yep.
ooh.
Yeah, up to a minute.
Okay. If I concentrate on that, can I cast another spell, or do I just have to concentrate on it?
As you can only have one concentration spell at a time. So, like, if you have another spell that doesn't require concentration, you can still cast that.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to use this. However, instead of just the 3, I'm going to use my wand and add another 2 onto it, so I'll have 5 magic missiles. So I need to add
2 more
1d4
D4s
plus 1.
plus 1.
Or you just roll it again.
Yeah, just click it again. We'll take the first 2.
Okay.
And if you get wild magic. Oh, dang it.
Okay.
All right.
I got a 5 on both of those. Woo!
9.
So, Musha, you
19.
pull out your wand
19.
and you fire off the spell within a magic missile as 5 bolts come flying out from the tip of the wand. How do you want to do this?
Ooh.
I would like for one of those missiles to like go right through his head, to cut it off, and magically bring it into my hands.
Wait, what? I don't think it works
No.
that way.
I don't think it works that way.
So each one of the 5 bolts goes directly into the neck of this manticore, lopping its head off from its body, and the head and body both just begin to drop out of the sky.
I might get a ring. Yes. Where did my thing go?
As soon as it's my turn again, I want to go chase the head.
Okay.
Oh, now it's a race. I see how it's gonna be.
So currently the head is still. Lothar and the hippogriff are still falling, just at a
Right.
slower rate. So for the sake of that, I think we're going to stay in initiative. So for Mushi,
Right.
is there anything else
So-
you would want to do?
Lothar is still falling.
Yes.
Well, fuck.
60 feet.
Well, I just used all my
Round.
movement,
No, but he's already had Featherfall cast on him.
so he's
So he
okay
can just-
then.
He can just fall, and when he hits the ground, he'll be fine.
Is his griffin alive still, or hippogriff?
His hippogriff has regained consciousness.
Well, that's good. Okay. Well, then we're good. We're good. Yeah, but I used all my movement, so I can't do anything else.
All right.
What are you staring at, weirdo? The dog just went to a corner and just like stared at the wall.
Staring at that ghost.
Probably. I know I probably have one somewhere.
Was it a bad dog? Did you put it in timeout?
No. She is an asshole though.
Looks like she's staring at your curtains and sniffing at them.
No, that's the other one. This is the black one sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Oh Lord.
the knight that was being grappled more or less with the manticore begins
Oh,
going
the cat's in there.
swooping down to kind of going for the dropping vulture and knight. As it does so, the vulture moves through this cloud of daggers, taking the 12 points of damage as it proceeds just almost straight towards them.
I would like
and make it
to
close.
go towards the knight as well, since I'm down around his level.
1 second, because currently the knights are going towards you. So,
Oh, that's right. My bird hasn't recovered yet.
neither has his bird, which is why the knights are beginning to swoop.
Fucking birds. Oh, that's right. I still could die. Oh, wait. No, I got Featherfall. I'm good.
You're good. You're good. Don't worry.
I'm good.
I hate having to reset Roll20 because then everything I needed is gone.
I know.
Dogs, go lay down.
Go away.
My cat somehow managed to sneak into the room, and they're like, "Oh my god, what is it?" Okay.
All right, you can see a kind of shimmer about the knight and the vulture around him as he seems to fly through the air even faster towards Lothar and his hippogriff.
Ooh, super speed. He must have eaten a mushroom or something.
Don't hit me, bro.
Gosh.
I never even used my inspiration. I meant to use that on my last one. I totally forgot.
Right. Just in case if you need to not die, you have it for the next 10 minutes.
And the giant vulture's talons kind of wrap around the hippogriff with Lothar, the hippogriff in one hand, and Lothar in the other, and their descent stops.
Woohoo.
And likewise with the other large giant, the second giant vulture that was dropping.
Everybody's
For
safe. We got it.
The vulture too is grabbed by the vulture who's going for it, whereas the knight rolls off of the vulture, and you can see him kind of press down against his body with his arms, and he raises his arms out, and leather flaps look to be there as a kind
Flying
of
squirrel
medieval
man.
squirrel suit as he begins
need one of
descending
those.
in the direction back towards the tower. But with that, we're out of initiative.
I need one of those really bad.
That's badass. We will ask them how they made that.
I want one. Oh, wait. No.
Did
still
Gavender
want
get the head?
Gravender
That's an
gets
excellent
believe-
question.
I believe he's still going for it.
Yeah, I mean, so do I get there?
So the head is falling significantly faster than your hippogriff can dive for it.
Well, I would be diving for it also.
And it does look to be
But-
heading for this
Sure.
river down below.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to dive into a river for a damn head, even though I want to rank.
Well,
But
still
you are
killed
more
it.
than welcome to try, because presumably like you could head downstream.
I'm going to keep following it.
All right.
If I see where it splashes, I'm going to try to, go, with the river and see if I can, snag it somehow.
And
So-
He's determined.
Go ahead.
I'm going to yell out and say, see? My friend killed it. We got it first.
And Thurl looks towards Mushi, and she can make out the slightest kind of nod of his head. And he's holding the ring up before placing it back on his finger.
And she's just going to nod back. Like, totally
I know.
cool.
I know.
I'm super excited on the inside, but I'm just going to nod back. Like,
She's
I
going to
got
pull an
it.
Illyria and be like,
And Gravender, you're heading for this manticore head as it splashes into the river, and make me a perception check to try and spot where it bobs back up.
I will give him my inspiration
he
to
has
find
inspiration.
He has inspiration.
this. I will give him mine as well.
All right.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and use my inspiration.
D6.
All right.
Come on, 24. Come on.
Practice.
Look at that,
Son of
19.
a
All right,
bitch.
19. Gravender, the hippogriff you're riding on, the wings continue flapping in the downward direction as it slows its descent in order to avoid crashing into the river itself.
Right.
And it takes a moment or two, but you spot the head roughly on the opposite side of the river. It looks to be kind of lodged in some reeds. But as well, on the side opposite the manticore's head, you can make out what looks to be several packs of gnolls in the valley.
Really?
So they're on the other side of the river, though.
Right. They don't seem to be particularly interested in you at this point in time. There look to be a pair fishing up further in the river. Several packs kind of fighting amongst themselves. Hyenas in the mix.
I'm just going to get the head.
All right.
But I will definitely try to note where we are to the best of my ability.
All right. And with that, Earl turns and heads back in the direction of the Feathergale Spire, as do the mounted knights.
Follow the Monties.
And I will follow as well.
Ooh,
Having a better feel for
they
this
teleported.
hippogriff.
They used Dimension Door to get back to their homeland.
It's a
I'm
big
super
dimension door.
fast.
It's a dimension rift. You never know.
You heard it. Boom. All right. So one by one, your hippogriffs make their way back to the tower, and at the last possible second, they shut their wings to avoid the doors as they swoop right into their stalls. And you guys find yourselves back at the base of the Feathergale Spire.
Ooh.
When we get back and I dismount, I'm basically just gonna slowly walk around and
Breathing heavy.
And I'm gonna look at Gravender and I'm gonna say, "You're breathing heavy. I'm the one who just fell."
And while he's holding this big old head. I am going to dismount and pat my hippogriff and tell it thank you. And leave its
I'm gonna walk over to Gravender and I'm gonna whisper to him and say, "You're a dragonborn. Show us some backbone."
I'm gonna stand up very straight. Take a deep breath.
Okay.
And I'll grab him by the shoulder just to reassure him. And I'll tell him, next time you and I need to keep our feet firmly on the ground.
Here's that.
And Sabra is kind of chuckling to herself, and she turns to Mushi and she says, "Sadly, it's not for everyone."
I'll look to her and I'll say, "You don't consider hippogriffs cattle, do you?"
And she looks to you very confused. She says, "Oh, no, cattle are much more bovine in nature."
Just making sure.
She continues to stare at Lothar, very confused.
And I'll just walk with Gravender.
I'm actually going to try and look at Lothar very confused as well.
I'll just shake my head. Later.
And I'm going to exclaim, having had a wonderful experience, saying that was one of the most remarkable, terrifying experiences of my life. I am very glad we were able to help you in your hunt for this manticore.
Manticore.
I found it. I
It's
had it
in
written
my
down.
notes here.
And she kind of says, "So I take it the hunt went well then."
And she kind of ushers
Dad.
over to Gravender as he's holding the manticore's head.
And she kind of chuckles to herself. She says, "Well, will the party be staying with us for the night? We could ready some rooms for you."
Do you have any inside rooms?
Yes, sir. They're all sturdily built within the confines of this spire.
Okay.
If it wouldn't be too much trouble, we would greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Please, right this way then. And she begins walking up the spiral staircase.
And I follow, taking each step slowly, gradually, enjoying my victory. Feeling proud of all of us. We were just
And-
flying.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, do.
You.
Okay, I was going to say, she leads the party back up to the floor where the feast was held, and she opens the door, and the table full of foods remains, mostly uneaten.
I'll sit Gravender down and I'll bring him a pheasant.
And take the head away from him so we
Take
can
the
eat.
head away from him so he can-
I'm just gonna like put the pheasant on my plate and just kind of stare at it for a while.
All right. What was it?
You can't see at the moment. This is the look he's giving.
He's staring blankly at the winged pheasant.
If only I had Mage Hand, I'd make the pheasant dance. But I
I
don't.
think I have Mage Hand.
That's coming later. I'll get Mage Hand later.
But
Actually,
in the
probably
meantime, while Illyria and Cassie were left here in the spire, is there anything in particular that they would like to have done?
Illyria is going to be, well, Illyria, and she's going to kind of go with Cassie, and they went to see everybody off at the rookery or whatever you want to call
Right.
the stables, and then she's going to kind of like get Savra talking a little bit and just kind of turn her over to Cassie to keep busy.
Okay.
And she's going to say that, she wanted to go back and finish her meal, so she's going to be upstairs. And then she's going to wander a little bit.
All right. So
And
as
Cassie nods, and she's going to kind of go to one of the gates and kind of stare off, watching them in the distance. And she'll kind of wait there until everyone returns. And, after
No.
kind of seeing the battle, she's going to go back up and eat.
And Sabra kind of continues the conversation, asking Cassie about her origins, where she's from, what's drawn her towards the valley, and kind of the whole spiel. Kind of asking her some of the same questions that the party was asked, except a lot more directed towards Cassie because she was a lot quieter during the feast. And so kind of catching up on Cassie now.
And they will talk as Illyria does her thing.
Right. So as Illyria ventures up the spiral stairs, every landing that she comes to is kind of sturdily enclosed within kind of a small room of sorts. I'll go ahead and drag you through them. The first floor had this kind of small square room about it. The floor with the feast also had a small room about it. Proceeding upwards, there is once more a small room with doors, and upon reaching this fourth floor, she can hear what sounds like open air blowing in the floor up ahead.
Okay.
Kind of spiraling down the stairs with a bit of a gusting breeze.
Then she's going to go up to the top, what she assumes is the top.
All right.
And she's not necessarily going to go out on top of the spire. She wants to make sure it is, in fact, like open and sees everything.
And she creeps her way up. And let's see if we can. And you can see that it opens up into what looks to be kind of small grassy field about the top of this spire, with several more of these tunicked individuals and the occasional swoop of large heavy wings kind of flies by the tower.
Okay, she's going to try to stay hidden as much as she can.
All right. It does seem to open up into the air here at the apex of the tower. There's a small stone gazebo kind of enclosed, not really enclosing, but built around the top of the stairs to kind of prevent rainfall from falling down. Small lawn growing up here with a 4 white stones, each kind of pointed in the general direction of the compass, and each tipped with stone crenellations, making a kind of like Lord of the Rings tower kind of thing. And additionally, she spots what looks to be a golden spyglass kind of looking off into the canyon down below.
Okay.
And additionally, over kind of poking her head up, she can make out a magnificent view of the valley, of the Desrin Valley itself for miles around.
Okay. She's going to note that for later, but she's going to come back down to the floor below.
All right.
And try to do just a little quick exploring. And this whole time she's trying to keep an eye out for symbols, runes, anything that might strike her as unusual.
All right. So nothing with those rolls, there's really nothing standing out to her, really. And she's feeling, I suppose, a little, I don't want to say vulnerable, because I know Ruby would hate me using that word to describe her.
Right.
But essentially that, without her thieves' tools, knowing that if she were to come across anything valuable or even anything secret behind it, even so much as a locked door might be preventing her now.
Right.
Whereas before, she had been more than capable of going through every single room in the spire, despite any kind of lock she faced.
Right. Okay, well, she's going to, like I said, she's going to try to sneak around as much as she can without actually breaking into somewhere.
All right.
And she's going to, like, check that door, if that is a door there in front of her.
Yeah.
And just kind of, jiggle the handle, see if it's unlocked.
It might be a little tough to see on these Roll20 maps, but the hallway she's in kind of goes around the staircase, and there are more doors around there. Basically, like this one, just 4 more, or 3 more, for a total of 4.
Okay, well, she's going to try the one right in front of her first.
All right.
Stealthily.
No, she's going for the brazen I'm lost vibe right now.
Oh, yeah,
Looking for the bathroom.
So she's just going to open the door.
As she tries the door, it opens in front of her, and she can see a decent chamber beyond with a pair of beds and kind of matching furniture on both the left and the right rooms with a bit of a curtain kind of acting as a divisor down the middle.
Oh, we love
Okay.
curtains.
So she's just going to go ahead and close that door and check the next one.
All right. Heading clockwise or counterclockwise?
There we go.
Clockwise.
All right. And she comes to this door and finds it locked as she jiggles the handle.
Okay. She's going to keep going.
All right. And this one opens up no problem, and it looks nearly identical to the one that she was just looking upon. A bed on either side, small chests kind of next to the beds, small desks, a little wardrobe, windows looking out into the valley beyond, a curtain dividing down the middle.
No, like, obvious stacks of coins or anything like that sitting around.
There's nothing to indicate that, no.
Okay. But she's going to go on back down and actually go to the room with Feast this time then.
All right.
So I figure she's wandered around enough without, any sort of story or backup, so.
All right. And is there anything else you would like to do at this point in time?
Assuming she can walk through those doors.
Yeah. We're going to pretend that these people aren't here
Right.
at this point in time.
So pretending they're not there, she's going to make a pretty thorough examination of like the different beds and mountings, and again, looking for earth symbols or fire symbols. Like she's saying, anything that strikes her as indicative of some secret or some other cult. Because there's supposed to be, an air dude somewhere, and it seems like a decent probability for the air cultists.
So go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Perception. Wow.
Of course.
So she begins kind of feeling up around the
+5.
walls, searching for anything, looking for anything, like any kind of inkling that might indicate really anything that just kind of sets the hairs on the back of her neck on end. But as she's scouring this room, she sees the leftover feast, and she begins going kind of head to head of these mounted trophies. And she can tell that they're not of the finest craft work, as it seems these guys probably did it themselves, and a bit of rot is kind of beginning to set in among the outer edges of the necks and slowly seeping up towards the face. But there are no such kind of cult symbols, or there's really nothing that really stands out to her.
Okay.
But there are another set of curtains and tapestries kind of looking to just kind of cover up some of the repetitive white marble stone all throughout this tower.
Right. Liven the place up a bit.
Exactly.
Okay. She's going to settle down at her seat then and just kind of wait.
All right. And after what seems like an eternity for Illyria, she can hear the sound of a lone voice kind of walking up the staircase, echoing about as Cassie makes her way through the door and begins kind of making her way back to her seat and begins nibbling on the plate that she left before. And moments later, the echoes of the party's voices kind of go throughout the halls before they too burst into this room and take their seats all around. And this is where we find ourselves now.
And I'm just gonna continue slowly eating on my plate, enjoying the biscuit that I recently left behind.
All right.
Looking around, grabbing some more vegetables to scoop onto my plate.
All right.
And eyeballing Grabender's dancing pheasant.
And Gravinder doesn't seem to notice that his pheasant is dancing. He's still just kind of staring.
And I will sit next to Miyoshi and just grab a glass of wine or ale or whatever and just down it.
And Savra looks kind of very startled at the dancing pheasant in front of Grabender, and she says, I apologize thoroughly. I could have sworn that they would have prepared it properly and at least killed the animal before cooking it.
Miyoshi, really?
I was only trying to lighten his mood. I meant no harm or disrespect. Thank you.
And the heavy clatter of footsteps can be heard once again by Lothar and Illyria, as coming through the door once again are the many armored individuals along with Thurl. They burst into the room, excitedly talking, and Thurl kind of gives a little nod to Mushi as each of the knights kind of make their way around to their seats, as does Thurl. They each pull up their seat and sit down, but Thurl remains standing this time. And he
By the time everybody sits down,
Yeah.
Gravinder kind of like snaps out of it, and he looks around and sees Thurl and goes, "Here's the head."
And he says, "Marvelous, friend. It seems you had saved us the trouble of finding it ourselves." And he reaches down to his belt and he takes out a small little pouch and he tosses it towards Grabender. And to Hushi, he raises his glass and he says, "As promised, the ring to the one who slayed the monster. It would appear, Miss... What's your name, Miss?
Miyoshi.
Miss Mushi. There may be hope for you yet amongst the Feathergale Society. To Mushi!"
And she raises her glass and she says, "It was a group effort."
And each of the
she drinks
knights
that.
echo the cheer, "To Mushi!" And they each take their drink. And Thurl once again removes the feathered ring from his finger and he offers it to Mushi.
And she gladly accepts.
Of course she does.
Inspecting this ring further, do I see anything other than the feathers surrounding it?
Mishu's got bling bling.
Roll me
I like
an
the bling
intelligence
bling.
check.
Oh, you should
Oh
be good at that.
man.
Oh, wait.
We'll see, we'll see.
Oh,
Oh wait, what does that mean?
I don't know.
It means I'm a little interested in my biscuit right now.
Food.
Your hands are a little greasy when you grab it up, and as you hold it up to kind of inspect it closer, you can see bits of biscuit kind of all around the ring. But it has some very finely carved feathers inside, all around the ring. And it looks expensive.
Oh.
And I slip it on one of my fingers.
All right. You've got a ring on your finger.
That makes
He liked
jewelry.
it. He just put a ring on it.
Wait a second.
All right.
You
Go
just
ahead.
put a ring on it? Uh-oh.
Hey, if it's expensive, I'm not gonna argue.
So then, friends, tell me, where do your ventures plan to take you next?
We are further seeking information regarding the cult we found in Red Larch. Like we've said before, this prophecy is seeming to be more serious than we originally thought. We're looking to hopefully take down these prophets and bring peace back to this land.
Well, I did promise to speak with you after the feast, and I suppose now, after that exciting interruption, it would technically be after the feast that we had. So a deal is a deal. Describe these cultists you encountered to me.
They told of one who would control Earth.
I'm going
One
to
who
interrupt
would-
Yushi. So,
I'm glad you
these are delicate matters. Do you have a private chamber we can discuss these theories and this knowledge that we want to partake?
You're good, Ben. You get your homework
Alright.
done.
Yeah, do your homework.
Do your homework or
Yeah.
you're grounded.
All
Yeah,
right,
I would be.
Thanks for
I-
appearing, even though you have homework tonight.
Yes.
I am
Yeah,
blaming
sorry,
your
guys.
wife
No,
for
no,
feeding
no.
you such a healthy, bountiful meal, and that made you tired.
It could be that too.
It's
Yep.
all-
You've been
Mm.
drugged.
well, that and your drink is almost gone.
Yeah, the scotch is almost gone too. So kind of all the above, really.
No, the bottle's almost full.
It's
True.
been filled with.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful evening.
All right, take care.
Have a good
Another-
one.
Bye.
Bye. All right, quick, kill off everyone.
Everyone's dead. You
So-
are such an asshole.
Thurl meets Lothar's gaze.